beautiful souls. Welcome back to Dose of Destiny. If you're new here, I'm your host, Destiny, and thank you for coming back each week for your dose of balance mentally, spiritually, and energetically. This episode was inspired by a girls' day that I had with some of my sweet little friends, and how it was just so great to be around them and just have a good time. We were at the pool, we had some good food and drinks, and it was just a good wholesome evening. I've talked tons about isolation and isolating with a purpose, but I haven't really talked much about how important it is to have a good solid community and have togetherness. I think that there's a time and a place in your life where both have to exist at some point, but I don't think that isolation is for long term. Being in hermit mode is just not a long-term thing. I see what psychological effects that it can have on you when you are in a long-term type of isolation mode, and not only psychologically but social skills. It kind of stunts those. So learning how to really connect with others in a healthy way instead of thinking that you just have to go through things alone when you have people around you who love you. Honestly, a dream of mine is to have like 40 acres of land and build a compound on it so that we can all be together and have family dinners, game nights, and have our children grow up together and all the things. Not only is that community, but it's generational wealth. I think that we have forgotten about how valuable it is to have just good, genuine people around you who love you. It seems like we've developed this sort of lack of trust in each other because for one, we don't really know how one another lives their lives because everyone thinks that it's too much to share a piece of their lives with each other. And a lot of the lack of trust in people could potentially come from when back in the day, your mom wouldn't let you go to everybody's house because some people experience sexual abuse or other type of trauma just from going to everybody's house. And I get it. Everybody is caught up in their own lives. Like, I get it. We work, and if you have children and a family that you're building on your own, you may not see people or talk to them often, but don't forget about your people. Don't forget about your community because they're important too. And I think that a lot of us will feel a lot less alone or burnt out if we actually utilized our resources, which are our friendships that we create and our family. Or if we actually had good friends in our corner and family members who actually wanted to be involved in our everyday lives. I think that it would make such a difference in how we show up in community and how we feel about community. And I don't know, I might feel this way because I don't have children or a significant other yet, but I just value friendship and family. I value closeness and love for the people that are in my life. We all have our moments where we need space for sure, and that's great. And sometimes one's misery doesn't love company, but don't ever think that you can't go to your people for help or for comfort or advice or anything that you feel like you might need. And I get why people don't though. And it's probably because some people shame you to other people and, gossip about you or act like what you're asking for is too much. And if that's the case for you, you should know right then and there that those are not your people. Those who truly care about you will check on you if you express that, hey, I'm going through something right now and I need a little bit of space. And if you prefer to be alone in those times until you're ready to talk about it, I get it. But sometimes people want to care for you and nurture you through difficult moments. Everything doesn't have to be dealt with by yourself. Like, what's the point in having friends if you don't allow for them to support you in however they can and however they feel like you would benefit from it, to uplift you and love on you, even if it's just them checking in to see how you are and like that's the conversation. But how can somebody be there for you if you're not being vulnerable enough to tell them like, hey, I'm struggling right now? It's okay to struggle, but it's not okay to feel like you have to struggle in silence because no one's there. For me, I'm still learning how to trust others with my vulnerabilities, but half the time those people you're around are possibly going through something very similar or have been through something similar and have been afraid that they would be judged and if they have gone through something similar, they could potentially give you some great advice that could help you come to a conclusion about things or simply support you for what you're experiencing. And I'm not saying go trauma bond with somebody, but I am saying don't underestimate what others could help you see yourself through. We all struggle from time to time, but it makes it better when you have someone by your side to go through those things with. I was recently going through something and I was just suffering in silence until I got the courage to talk to one of my friends about it. And it turns out that she had the best advice. She hadn't like firsthand experienced it, but she knew someone else who had experienced it. And it just made me feel so much better, and it made me feel like I just wasn't alone. So building trust through communication is a real thing, but you have to be willing to trust someone with that part of you, because being vulnerable is not easy. It's scary, and it really makes you feel seen in a way that you probably only keep to yourself. Community comes from having your heart open enough to receive this kind of love and support. I wouldn't have been able to receive my friend's advice had I felt too ashamed to share. Everyone doesn't have the capacity to receive this love or to give this type of love, and will therefore keep their hearts closed to the possibility that they could be understood by someone outside of themselves. Not only trusting someone, but trusting that they wouldn't judge you or that they wouldn't tell your business to somebody else. So watch who you confide in, of course, but don't completely close off the fact that there are people in your corner who are really for you. And if you're still questioning that, then you obviously have a little bit more evaluating to do. The moral of this whole podcast is to keep your heart open so that you can receive all of the love and support and community that someone wants to give you. You never know how much it could boost your mood and your confidence in getting through anything else in your life. Keep your heart open to people that you've learned to have mutual trust, understanding, and compassion with. So I think that is a beautiful place to go ahead and just end the show. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more every Thursday, and I sprinkle a few videos throughout the week, so don't forget to check out those as well. And with that being said, thank you so much for sharing your beautiful energy with me today. As always, I pray that you all have the most amazing, productive, supportive, and soft week ever. And y'all, don't forget to be kind to yourselves, okay? It really does make a difference. Okay, we'll catch up soon. Love you.